Good morning, true crime friends. Look, I'm running late this morning because I spent the last couple of hours reviewing the entire day's testimony from the Taylor Schabusiness Trial. So look, first of all, hit the like button. I like you, you like me, we like each other. Do we go together now? I think we might go together now. Anyway, hit the like button because that helps me out, please and thank you. And I guess we go together after you hit subscribe, because then like every day we get to see each other. It'll be so exciting. So look, yesterday, my phone is all crooked. What happened? Yesterday was trial day 2 in the Taylor Schabusiness trial. And so I'm like, okay, let me first of all fast forward through everything that doesn't matter to me. And also let me just I kept double tapping 10 seconds faster while I played it on double speed, because I knew I needed to get through 9 hours of trial in about 2 hours this morning. So I just wrapped up my day's viewing, all of yesterday's viewing. And for the first 3/4 of the day, I was like, nothing exciting happened here. The most exciting things that happened were, number one, Taylor changed her outfit halfway through the day. She came in the morning with this swirly outfit. This sort of made my eyes buzz. And I was like, girl, I'm gonna need you. Please don't move, because I might fall out of my chair from a seizure, something like that. And then they took a break for 10 minutes and she changed clothes. But you could tell that outfit was uncomfortable and she was just fidgeting and whatever. And after she changed clothes, she seemed calmer. So I'm like, okay, maybe it was a sensory issue. Maybe the shirt didn't fit. Maybe what I don't know. First of all, she's crazy. Not light crazy. She's legit, deeply, profoundly, mentally effed up. Okay, so fine. So they go through this officer came and that officer came, and then the medical examiner showed up and was like, she cut him into a bunch of parts and pieces, and here's all the parts and pieces. And then they talked about his strangulation. I'm not even sure what I can say on this thing, but she unalived him quite thoroughly, and she really made sure. And then her lawyer was just co-signing on everything that was happening. And I was like, why are we having this trial? Are there questions here? Do we think she maybe didn't do it? And then they show her being arrested, and I was like, oh, she looked cute when she got arrested. I was like, okay, girl, maybe you shouldn't go around murdering people, but you look cute when you got arrested. And she seemed calm and not high and like a totally sane person. And I'm like, okay, so this is what we're doing. Here's the thing that struck me. Number one, in the bucket was his head and also his eggplant. But I was like, I had not realized that in the bucket she included the twig and the berries. And I was like, oh, I thought it was just the twig. It was the whole packet. Ew. Okay, was it easier to remove that way? I don't know why that's a sticking point for me, but for whatever reason, I just had not didn't realize she put a 3-piece meal in there. I thought it was a 1-piece. So okay, fine. And then a bunch of and then when she cut off his foot, she put it in the cavity of his. Listen, I thought she just disassembled this gentleman. She thoroughly disassembled him. When you buy a whole chicken from the store and you're like, oh, I want a split chicken breast, and so I'm gonna have to further disassemble. She further disassembled, and then she made him into a turducken, sorta, because she put the foot inside the chest cap. I don't understand, but likely she does not understand. So, okay, fine. You're putting parts and pieces inside of other parts and pieces and just playing hide and seek with them. Crazy. Kids, don't use meth. Also, don't unalive people. And in Chad Therian's bloodstream, they found cocaine. Is there cow farts in cocaine? I'm not sure how the methadone works. So I was like, oh. Okay, so they found they found cow farts, they found cocaine, they found marijuana, and tobacco and something else. And I was like, he was a smoker? Oh, that's so bad for your health. But okay, fine. I mean, I imagine those other things were not good for you too. But personally, I feel like that cigarettes is it's just so bad for your health and your lungs and whatever, makes your clothes smell stinky. Okay, but whatever. No shade to smokers. Although, when I see somebody smoking in New York City, I just assume they're rich. I was like, well, clearly that is a millionaire or someone who spends their money unwisely, because cigarettes are so expensive. As an aside, one time back in college, I was dating this guy who smoked. And so Valentine's Day came around and I was like, what could I possibly buy him? Oh, I will buy him a carton of cigarettes. And I bought him an entire carton of cigarettes, which is 10 or 20 packs or something, for $20. Now, I was a poor college student, and I was like, that is a lot of money, but I'm going to spend, this is a whole lot of ramen, but I loved him, so I bought a whole carton of cigarettes and wrapped them up cute and whatever, and then he kept them in the freezer because back in the day, we used to keep our cigarettes in the freezer. Don't know why, but whatever. And now in New York City, one pack is right around $20. So anytime I see somebody smoking, I'm like, oh, hey, rich dude, how you doing? Anyway, so, but I don't date smokers. I don't date because I'm married and my husband does not appreciate me dating. So anyway, so he had tobacco and all these other things in his system. And then they had just like crime scene tech after crime scene tech saying like, yes, they literally caught this woman red-handed. Like when they picked her up, there was red on her hands as in a blood-like substance. They had not confirmed yet that it was actual blood, but Taylor girl, you didn't even wash your hands? This makes me wonder, how well does she wash her kitty cat? Like, I'm thinking, if your hands are easy to wash, right? Cracks and crevices of your body can be harder to wash, especially if you're not that thorough or if you don't have attention to detail. And I was like, if your hands are that kind of dirty, your kitty is feral in the wrong kind of way, like mange and gamey. Does she wax? I'm guessing no. I'm thinking it's like all the shrubbery is present and accounted for, all of it, possibly down the legs and in other places. I'm just saying, ew. But I was grossed out from the unaliving of people. So me judging her based on the condition of her nether regions, I guess is just superfluous. So anyway, they go on. And I'm just like, ugh, another cop. Ooh, a trial daddy. Because one of these police officers, I did not get his name because I was busy cutting up a chicken at the time. And because, you know, I'm multitasking. I'm not just sitting here doing nothing. I am a mom. I am a wife. I am a homeowner. I had things to do. And since I couldn't replace that piece of gutter that I wanted, it's not gutter, it's downspout, really. I bought some downspout yesterday because I think I have an idea of how to keep the water from coming in the basement, but that's a topic for another day. So anyway, I was like, I could be outside replacing this downspout. But number one, it's dark. Number two, I live near the woods. Number three, wild animals. No, thank you. So I'm going to do some work in the kitchen while I'm listening to this trial on fast forward. So I'm listening to the trial and I hear this dude's voice. I'm like, okay, whatever. Is the chicken done? Where's my meat thermometer? Oh, who is this little piece of deliciousness? So I stopped and I paid attention, but he was just getting off the stand, but he was all like in a uniform and his hair was like all lovely and he had a nice beard. And I was like, how you doing? It's too bad my husband doesn't let me date because you will be your prime candidate. So anyway, he went off the stand and then some nice lady came up there and she was talking about, I don't know what, crime scene, whatever, blah, blah. So they downloaded her phones. There were 10 cell phones associated with this murder. Who else's phone did they get? Doesn't matter. The most interesting part of the day came right at the very end, just as I was like, do I need to skip through the rest of this? Let me just watch it for proper due diligence so that I can report fully to my true crime friends, and then we can find out exactly what happened. I was expecting absolutely nothing. So I'm sitting here with my little cup of coffee. Available at the Gossip Rumor and Innuendo merchandise store over on the About tab. But anyway, drinking my coffee, I'm to my second cup, doing a little crochet, and I'm like, okay, so let me just see what this lady is gonna say. Now, is she gonna say that what kind of searches was Taylor looking for the weather, whatever? I'm expecting absolutely nothing. What do I hear? Jeffrey Dahmer. Child dropped everything. I was like, oh, what else did she search for? Turns out, Miss Taylor, murder curious. Also, serial murder curious. And so her attorney woke up. He spent the whole day asleep. Listen, he was sitting over there writing down the first dude's questions so he could ask the same questions, bored out of his mind. But when they start talking about Dahmer, oh, brother woke right up. He was just like, oh, I object. I was like, oh, well, who put the battery in your back? He was just like, Your Honor, I would like a mistrial. I was like, oh, a mistrial, you say? Tell me more, sir. Tell me everything. So, so they excused the jury. Thank you for your service. We're going to see you tomorrow. You have a good night. Tuck yourself in. Okay. Don't watch the case on social media. Don't tune into Gossip Rumor and Innuendo. I think he said that specifically. Maybe that was an auditory hallucination. Do I have mental illness? But whatever. So, the answer to that question is yes, but not the kind where you hear auditory, hallucinations, just the type where like sometimes you get very sad and you take a little nice pill and then 30 days later you feel better. So anyway, they were just like, okay, after the jury was gone, the judge was like, so what's y'all's problem? I mean, you know, words to the effect of, what's y'all's problem? And they were like, the defense was like, Your Honor, if you include all of her Google searches, then people will be upset. It is more prejudicial than probative. That means people gonna look at her and be like, child, as opposed to like, oh, isn't that interesting? So I was like, oh, what falls under the child category and what falls under the isn't that interesting category? So it was determined that they will leave out the searches that include Satanic Bible Online, because you can't get that down in Barnes & Noble, I don't think. Does Amazon have that? An audio book? I'm not up on my Satanic Bible, thank goodness. They were like, yeah, people gonna say child if we put that in. So the judge was like, yeah, we gonna yeet that. So that's gonna go in the child category. What else? And they was like, and Jeffrey Dahmer, here are the searches that she did. Jeffrey Dahmer's butt. What now? Did he have a good butt? I never paid attention. Cadaver, all these other like murdery related topics. And I was like, this trial has suddenly got a lot more interesting. Now, I had thought that Miss Taylor was regular crazy, like garden variety, out of her mind, slightly homicidal. Now, to be crazy, that is not illegal. To unalive people because you are crazy, that's a whole other thing. So, okay, so she's not fully there. All of her ducks are clearly not in a row. Her ducks are kind of like squirrels. They all over the place. So, and uncontainable. So I'm like, okay, so what else? But this to me is evident that either A, she's a true crime fan who went too far, or B, she had homicidal intent. And I'm like, now hold on. I thought she was garden variety nuts, not criminally insane. Also, possibly just plain evil, like regular garden variety evil. And I think of like the heifer who gets in front of me in the line at like the ShopRite, and then she has all of her coupons and they're expired and she wants to argue them about it. That's evil, right? Like that is just, because lady, I have things to do. My popsicles are melting. You just standing here arguing about nonsense. Them coupons are probably counterfeit anyway. What are you doing? You are wasting my time is what you're doing. That is evil. Wanting to unalive people and then dissect them into parts and pieces and then Googling recipes of how you can serve like human kidneys or whatever. She ain't do that. I'm just saying, if she had, that's super evil. So this heifer falls into the clearly super evil category. And now I'm very interested. She was also very interested. She was just like, oh, well, what are we talking about? Yes, I was looking at Jeffrey Dahmer's butt. Also, his butt like whole and in one piece or dissected. Like, I'm curious. And apparently there's a picture of her sitting on her bed with her phone and a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer smiling, and she's smiling. Girl, Is that probative? It's probative to me. I'm interested. Is it prejudicial? Two things can be true at the same time. And in this case, both things are true. Taylor, first of all, it was a foregone conclusion that you were going to be convicted. Everybody knows it. You know it. The judge knows it. The jury knows it. Everybody knows and understands. So these jurors are like, we just gonna get our free lunch and have some days off work and chill out here and watch these people do their little play about criminal law and justice or whatever. And then we're gonna find you guilty and we're gonna go on back to our regular jobs down at the plant. But now, this revelation that there was premeditation, there was thought, there was research. Oh, you was not crazy. You were not like, I need a little pill to help my brain feel better crazy. You was crazy as in like, I want to unalive people and cut them into pieces and turn them into turduckens. That sounds interesting. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's not NGI, not guilty by reason of insanity. That's VGI. You're very guilty and insane. I'm just saying, VGI is not a legal term. It is a gossip, rumor, and innuendo term. I just made it up right now while I was sitting here sipping a cup of coffee. But, girl, you going down. I mean, I cannot say. I am not on this jury. But if I had to guess, if I had to speculate wildly, oh, you going to jail. And not like the you're not going to the nervous hospital kind of jail. Girl, you're going to regular jail also. Now I'm worried about all them people in jail. Are they safe? Do we need to keep them safe from Miss Taylor? Do we still call her Taylor? Do we show like decorum and manners to criminally insane people? My vote is no. But here's the thing. I have a relative who works at a state mental hospital, right? And he works on the ward with the actual crazy people. And so every time there's a like a family party, Christmas thing, I'm sitting next to him like, what's going on at work? How's things going? What you do today? What's going on? Anything new? Any new patients? I want to know everything. And so he doesn't really spill much because, listen, if it was a woman, she would be like, girl, let me tell you. But he's a man. He's just like, yeah, I did some paperwork and talked to the people and I say hey to the people and they say hey to me. And I'm like, well, who's there? And he's like, well, I can't say names, but I can say crimes. And I'm leaning in. And he's just like, so there's like a dude who like killed and ate his mother. His mother. What? So rude. She raised you better than that. I don't care what kind of person she was. I know she raised you not to. That is terrible. And so I'm like, what else? He was like, some like fire starters and some other like homicidal people. I don't know. They're nice to me though. And I'm like, well, that's good, I guess. He got a job for a long time. That's some job security. Because it's always going to be crazy people, bless them. But it's always going to be people who need to be there doing the paperwork. If I was him, I would want to work from home. But that's just me. Even during the pandemic, I think he went into work because it's the hospital. What? All that paperwork. Can you just scan that over to me? I'm going to sit here at the house away from the criminally insane people and I'm just going to do my work. But he drove in and he punched the clock or whatever they do. And he sat there and talked to them people all day long. He's been doing it for years, like 15 years now. Child, the story. Could you imagine sitting next to me at a dinner party if I worked at a hospital for the criminally insane? What? Anyway. That notwithstanding, the day ended with the judge saying, yes, you can include all the Dahmer references. And Taylor sat back with like a little smug look on her face. I was like, okay, girl, you might want to calm down and try and look like softer and nicer and less homicidal. But now that we have heard the Dahmer things, just prepare yourself. Prepare your body, prepare your mind, prepare whatever you need to prepare. All the little people running around in your head, you might want to let them know, y'all, we go into jail forever. And your husband, Warren Schabusiness, he gonna have to write you letters or come and visit you over at the jail. He's also a felon. Can a felon go visit another felon? I don't know how that works. In some states, they get iPads. Maybe they can just iPad and send each other messages. I don't know. Also, finally, but last, certainly not least, did you know that Taylor Schabusiness's maiden name is Coronado? Why would you give up Coronado and take Schabusiness? I don't understand. That's just me. But you know what? There's too many letters. You will stand out in the crowd. This is a girl who didn't want to stand out in the crowd. Who did want to stand out in the crowd. And now all the Coronados are like, oh, thank God. Because anybody whose last name is Dahmer, Hitler, Gurgles, like anybody with any of these last names are like, well, now we're going to have to change our name. Coronados, there's probably a whole lot more of you than there are Schabusinesses. So, good for you for not being associated with murder. Only now I just told everybody. So, but it's only a few thousand of my very closest friends who watch this channel who have already hit the like button. I know you hit the like button, right? You 18 minutes in. You had to have hit the like button by now. Okay, so subscribe on your way out the door. I need to go get myself in the shower, finish off a cup of coffee number 2, and a little bit of work. Again, coffee cups available in the merch store over on the About tab. Maybe if I remember, I'll drop it in the comments below this, whatever this thing is, this video. Okay, y'all have a good day, and watch out for people named Schabusiness. I'll see you at lunchtime. Bye.